My name's Rhonda McMullen. I work for Bernardo's Young Carers Service. Been doing so for just over 9 years now. Bernardo's tries to do a range of things. When they meet a young person, they will meet the young person where they're at and kind of find out what's going on for them and their issues that they're having. Primarily the service, I suppose, is about giving young people back their childhood, getting them out, meeting other young carers, understanding that their situation's not unique. There are other young carers out there, and I suppose it's about having fun and having an opportunity to forget their worries for a few hours out in a group. I think there's probably lots that we can do to help young carers, and I think the biggest thing needs to be society needs to know more about young carers. There needs to be a bigger awareness that there are actually young carers and that they are actually doing a massively important job within their family. So I think it's about schools, I think it's about policy makers, I think it's about society in general, just understanding, taking note that young carers are out there and wherever support can be offered. Through youth clubs, church groups, whatever, schools. I think that schools are improving, and it's not to slate schools at all. It's, teachers are very, very busy delivering their own curriculum, but they often don't get maybe the time to think about what could be going on for a young person who's caring for someone at home. I do think we're improving. I know Bernardo's do a lot of awareness raising to help schools understand. There's some very, very good examples out there of how schools have supported some young carers, and there are also some stories out there that aren't just so positive. But I don't think it's fair to slate schools. I think that we all need to start talking about young carers, and we all need to raise it as an issue and support schools in the support that they can provide to their pupils.
My name is Jessica Rook and I'm 11 years old.
My name's Holly and I'm 14.
I'm Charlie in Whiteside.
My name's Libby.
It's a person that would kind of help care for a disabled family member.
To me, a young carer is someone who looks after another family member or someone who's ill.
A young carer is someone who's under 18, not an adult, who has to look after a family member or someone else and care for them.
Young carer is basically someone who cares for someone at home. So that could be anyone, that could be parents, grandparents, siblings, loved ones, anyone that you care for more than you should.
Sometimes you can get your friends around and you can't really share it with them because they would just talk about you.
A lot of stress would build up on you, obviously with school at my age and with young carers. I enjoy coming out to young carers, but with the stress you have at home and being at school, it just builds up on you quite a lot. It does.
Well, I'm not very available whenever my friends ask me to do things, or if someone asks me to do them a favour, because I need to go home and I can't get out as much as I'd like to. That's sort of the main problem.
Growing up too quickly, I think that's one of the hard ones. You end up doing things too soon, too fast. At 19 I look after 2 households near enough. And I have to sit in A&E until 2:30 at night sometimes.
Yeah, it feels good and it feels like you're helping.
Oh, definitely. It just when you get that text from someone to say there's a group coming, you just be like, right, well, I'm going to that group, and your stress just relieves you, if you know what I mean? So it does.
I think it helps you mature more because you have responsibilities from really early on in your life compared to other people. So I know how to look after people with special needs.
Not really. They would sort of just, they don't really understand. They would just move on to another subject, or I know that they're talking sometimes about me.
Some people, like, I'd like to like put it out there more, if you know what I mean. Like, some people don't understand what young carer is, and when you explain to them, they would be like, all right, well, I sort of do that too, but they don't understand like the main effects of it, like why you're in that group and why you're doing that.
Sometimes they do and sometimes they don't, because you know, some people you tell them and they're just like, oh, okay, and it doesn't change their opinion at all, which is good and bad, because they don't expect that you can't do things with them, but they also don't judge you at the same time. And then there's other people who do judge you and would never ask you to do anything or go out with them.
No, not in the slightest. You try to explain it to someone and they're like, oh, but I do that at home, and you're like, no, you do maybe half of that. You don't have the worry and the emotional baggage that goes along with looking after one person.
Well, if I was in the swimming pool, I would sort of make sure they weren't having a seizure, or just make sure they're okay, or help them take their medication, because my brother has to take a medicine that doesn't taste very good, so I would sort of race him like with a drink to see who could drink it the fastest.
As a young carer, I have two younger sisters at home, so I would obviously look after them quite a lot when my mum was ill, if you know what I mean, so very much, yeah.
Well, I look after my brother a lot. You know, I have to stay at home and look after him. I need to know how to look after him, I need to feed him, clothe him, you know. A lot of general parent stuff. But yeah, at the same time I need to be aware of what makes the person you're looking after different.
I do everything. I do cooking, I do cleaning, I do looking after the dogs, looking after my brother, looking after my mum. I do stripping beds, making beds. Everything in the house that needs done normally I can do.
We would sometimes go out on trips or go to get food, and we went to the centre to play games, and it's really fun.
I don't know, it just takes off like a lot of relief and stress and everything. It just helps you so much. So.
They're like a support line, first of all, because like my caseworker, I can call her if I need an extra hand in an emergency, and also she can, you know, she knows what I'm going through. And the trips are a good break, because I can't always organise my own trips. So to have someone else organise that for me and take me, it's really good.
Bernardo's was good, I have to admit. They didn't have a lot of money to do a lot of stuff, but what they did, they meant. So like going out once a month, although it wasn't much, you kind of got to go out and you got to meet your friends and you got to do this, and you knew no one would look at you strange if you went out of the room to go phone and be like, are you okay, Mum? And they all kind of got it, and you'd have a wee network of people going, oh, how's your mum at the minute, and how's she feeling, and how's Christian, and how's your dad, and you got a wee network going on there. So I enjoyed it. I'm sad I left.
I've been thinking a lot about that actually, like when I turn 18, like what am I going to do? But I think personally, like young carers have been there for me a lot and they've helped me so much. So I think if young carers wasn't a part of my life anymore, I think I'd be fine. But if like stress and all would build up again, I'd obviously like contact Rhonda or something to talk to her, or you know, family members would help.
I don't really know yet. I just assume it'll be harder, because I don't have that support, that lifeline's gone. But yeah, there's a big gap between when you're 18 and when you're an older carer. that nothing really fills.
Honestly, it's very different. I have to admit, I didn't think much would change, and now I know Rhonda says you can text her, but at the same time you always think, oh, she's busy and she's got new kids coming in and so this and there's all that, so you don't really feel like texting her in case you're bothering her, and there's nothing else out there. So the networks you build are very important. Scared, lonely. In some parts it makes me feel slightly more independent, but in others it's kind of like, oh, balls, I'm on my own.
My name is Claire Sugden and I'm an independent MLA for East Londonderry. I am not familiar with Young Carers Northern Ireland. I am aware that there are a number of young people right across Northern Ireland who are looking after their family members, and I think certainly if I wasn't familiar with this organisation, then it's something that we need to know more about so that they can get the support that they need. Yeah, of course. I think if young carers are having that extra burden on their lives of having to look after someone else when essentially people should be looking after them, then of course they're going to have a lot of pressures, particularly around attending school, having a social life, which is really important, particularly at that age. And I think even the own problems that they're having when they go through a certain age as well, they need to be supported as much as the people they're supporting. There is always more that our government can do. Post-election 2017, we've yet to form a government. Certainly one of the conditions of forming that government is having clear policies moving forward. I think there needs to be a focus particularly on the vulnerable and children and young people. And if there are children and young people across Northern Ireland that are acting as carers for their family members, I think there needs to be a focus around how we can better support those young people. I think there needs to be an understanding. I think teachers and staff at schools need to appreciate that there are difficulties going on at home so that they themselves can better support these young people. Every young person is entitled to an education, and particularly if they're having this extra responsibility at home, it will be difficult for them to get that education. So I think there needs to be a focus around the support in particular that these young people are getting so that they can get the education that they're entitled to as much as anyone who isn't a carer. Of course there needs to be. You find that a lot of supports for people under 18 do tend to just stop at the age of 18 years old, which is really inappropriate. It's almost a cliff edge that all of a sudden you turn 18 on your birthday and you're not entitled to any type of support. There needs to be that transitional period. So yes, I definitely think there needs to be more support moving forward. I think generally carers are not as supported as they could be, particularly young people. Nothing changes on the day of someone's 18th birthday. They're still having a significant amount of responsibility, and for that to be taken away from them on the day of their birthday is something that we definitely need to look at.